Ladies and gentlemen, you can't have it both ways. God doesn't contradict himself. The Book of Mormon is not from God. The Bhagavad-Gita is not from God. The New World Translation is not from God. The reason I can say that steadfastly and confidently is because those things contradict what God has said. The Book of Mormon contradicts what God has said. The Bhagavad Gita, the Hindu scripture, contradicts what God has said. The New World Translation has contradicted what God has said. God doesn't contradict himself. He has spoken truth. He has revealed truth. This is his truth. This is the revelation of himself that he wanted you to get. And the reason I stand firm on this scripture is because I know you can't get the true revelation from God regarding matters about heaven or hell, judgment or grace, life or death. You can't get the truth from those things from other books written by people not inspired of God. God has spoken. God has revealed. You want to know what God says about death? It's in his word. You want to know what God says about life? It's in his word. You want to know what God says about heaven, what God says about hell, what God says about judgment, what God says about grace? You want to know what God says? He's revealed it in his word. This is his word. This is his truth. That's why we don't play around with that stuff. We don't play around and act like we give credence to other books that contradict what God has said. That's of the devil. That is not of God. So, Tom, that's awfully harsh. Well, the eternity of people weighs in the balance. The eternity of people weighs in the balance of you and me telling the truth about what God has said. And here's what God has said about that in his word, which is true.